Hey kids! Today we're looking at some mythological characters that you might have seen before. In media such as movies, TV shows, and games, you might see some mythological characters. But did you know that they don't always portray them in their original form? Some of those characters I'll be talking to you about today. The first of these characters will be Hades, god of the dead and king of the underworld. If you are a fan of Disney classics just like me, you will have seen Hercules, a movie about the hero Hercules fighting to save both the mortal world and Mount Olympus from the conniving Hades who is trying to take over. What you might not know is that's not how Hades originally was. He was not the villain that he is made out to be by Disney. His actual story is much different, starting with just his name. Hades wasn't always called Hades. In ancient Greek was called, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it means unseen, which is fitting because his efforts often went unnoticed. To start with, he helped his brothers Zeus and Poseidon take down Kronos, the king of Titans and the father of gods. But when the rewards were divided, Hades got stuck with the underworld, despite some sources saying he was unhappy with this decision. He never once complained or sought after the sky or sea. Hades was born within the same generation as the other gods, but was never referred to as an Olympian like the others, and instead had the title Chthonic, which roughly translates to things relating to the underground. So even by title, he was dismissed from the rest. Hades was never seen trying to usurp the throne of Olympus in the mythology, going as far as to abstain when other gods tried to remove Zeus from the throne. In one myth, Sisyphus, the first king of Ephyra, evaded death by arguing that he wasn't buried properly. So Hades allowed him to leave the underworld to fix his burial. But after he died again, he entrapped death, causing chaos because now nothing could die. Sisyphus was then punished by having to roll a rock up a hill for eternity. But guess who punished him? Not Hades, but Zeus, overriding Hades' authority. Hades was also much more loyal to his relationships in comparison to his brothers, who are widely known for their affairs and bastard children. Hades has only ever been seen with 3 different women: Persephone, his wife, Luce, and Minth. Luce was an ocean nymph that Hades fell in love with, but when she died, Hades changed her into a poplar tree. There is no timeline, meaning his time with Luce can be placed before he weds Persephone. Minth appears to be a past lover of Hades. It appears that when Hades married Persephone, Minth became jealous of their love, bragging that she would win back Hades. Hades doesn't respond to her claims. However, Persephone retaliates by turning Minth into a mint plant. As much as movies portray Hades as the bad guy, he is never the villain in any Greek myth, even assisting heroes when they come to him for aid. For one of his 12 labors, Hercules came to take Hades' 3-headed dog to the land of the living. When Hercules gets an audience with Hades, the god allows the hero to take Cerberus for a walk, under the condition that Cerberus is brought back home safely. Cerberus also means spotted, meaning he just named his dog Spot. How can you not like that? The second character that you might not know the true story behind is Kratos. In the God of War games, Kratos is stronger than any other god from more than just his own mythology. From the beginning of God of War, the depiction of Kratos has changed. Kratos is a Spartan warrior who after victory becomes the champion of the Greek gods, after making a deal with Ares to become the god of war. But originally, none of that is true. In the mythology, Kratos is one of the personifications of divine authority, strength. He is often depicted as a companion of Zeus alongside his siblings Baia and Nike. But in the games, he is depicted as a vengeful and ruthless person, only living to seek revenge against the gods for the torment they had put him through. But in the mythology, he is never fully fleshed out, as seen in the game, with him never being seen as anything more than someone associated with power. In the games, you also see Kratos engaging in huge-scale battles against many characters you might have heard the names of before, even killing Prometheus, Gaia, Hermes, Ares, Hades, and even Zeus. But in Greek mythology, nothing of the sort ever happened, as Kratos isn't anything more than just a background character. Kratos from God of War has become an iconic character in the gaming scene, being a poster child of Sony's exclusive games list, while the character from Mythology is known only to academics and mythological circles. The third character is well known to many, as they are used in many games, movies, and shows. Loki. You might know him from Marvel movies, God of War, or Fortnite. And something which at least I found surprising, Son of the Mask. Loki's character has received more attention than any other character from Norse mythology in the last 100 years. Many accounts paint Loki as an apocalyptic, cunning, deceptive, scheming, shape-shifting trickster. In Marvel, one of the simplest differences Loki has from the mythology is his relationship to Odin, the Allfather, being his brother in the mythology, but his adopted son in Marvel. In Marvel, the reason Loki is chaotic is far different from in mythology, with mythology just showing him destroying the societal construct for the sake of it, while Marvel shows him wanting to overthrow the throne because of his daddy issues. Another difference is his inability to transform. Marvel's MCU makes him incapable of doing so, while originally he is seen changing his gender and even species at a moment's notice. In mythology, he descends from giants, but is a god. He is a part of divine society, but his behavior contradicts the moral order the gods live by, making his loyalty questionable, especially when he fights against the gods rather than with them against common enemies. Loki shows he's not against or with the gods, but instead is an anarchist, there for the sake of causing chaos. However, for all his vices, he enjoys being a part of divine society, but simultaneously wants to dismantle it, because it tries to control him. In all depictions of Loki, there is one common theme. Loki wants to tear down the system by bringing about the end of the world. Thus he highlights the tension between those in power and those without. He's a rebel who lives to destroy the very thing that he wants to accept him. Yet, if or when it happens, he will be left empty, having no further plans. He acts as a metaphor for the unpredictability of change, and an important reminder that without change, even the most perfect civilization will fall.